Did Vinnie Vincent make a mistake leaving Kiss in 1984 to pursue the Vinnie Vincent invasion? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? This is Christian Duke. Welcome to the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel, sightsoundsflavors.com. If at any point in time you like the video, smash that like button. Also, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications so you won't miss a single video, and most important of all, leave a comment because I want to hear from you. So, during the Elder, it's when Ace basically said he was done. He told those guys he didn't want to make that record, even though he has some really good co-writes on it. He didn't want to do it. He didn't like the direction. He had told them, listen, we did Dynasty, which was a disco record. We did Unmasked, which was a sort of a disco pop record. Now we're doing this weird concept album. What we need to do would have been the Creatures album, but by that point he was out. He did the promotional tour, but he didn't write or play on anything on Creatures of the Night. He wasn't even involved in pre-production. He was completely done. During the writing for Creatures, however, these guys, Gene and Paul, wrote with a variety of people, including Adam Mitchell and Vincent Cusano. They liked Vincent Cusano so much that they brought him into the band. And the reason that they liked him so much is because he could write with Gene and he could write with Paul. And that's huge. So they bring him on. He had 3 co-writes. He played all over the album. The album sucked in the sense of sales. It was a phenomenal record, but it didn't sell anything. They were playing next to empty auditoriums and venues and whatnot. It was the first time they came back to the United States. They were not doing well at all. So they decided to take off the makeup. I don't think that taking off the makeup is why Lick It Up sold as much as it sold. I think it sold as much as it sold because Vinnie co-wrote 8 out of the 10 tracks. The problem is they were paying him a measly $2,000 a month. Now, $2,000 a month back in 1982, 1983 was a lot more money, but it still wasn't rock star money. The guy was still basically destitute, driving an old car, going back and forth from his house to the studio. They didn't buy him a Porsche like they did with Eric Carr, and he wasn't really getting a lot of money because of the fact that, he never signed a contract. But even if he signed a contract, he was not going to be making the kind of money that somebody that writes 8 out of 10 songs would get. They were also getting him in trouble about the leads, and they wanted him to do shorter solos, and they wanted to micromanage him. And this is a guy that honestly probably felt like he wanted to be treated more like Eric Carr. But we later found out that Eric Carr was miserable in Kiss. They really screwed him over when he was dying. They kept him on the health insurance, but they were just not very nice to him. We found out that during the Hot in the Shade tour, Paul didn't talk to him for most of the tour, but I guess Paul says that Eric didn't talk to him. Who knows? With those guys, a lot of their recollections are colored. They don't really tell you the full truth. They embellish a lot. For years, they said that Ace was fired because his guitar playing was starting to take a toll, which is nonsense. He left them. Anyways, he leaves Kiss in 1984. He was not fired. He left. He left Kiss, and why would they fire him? He wrote 8 out of 10 songs. What did Mark St. John write? What did Bruce Kulick write? He didn't write 8 out of 10 songs anywhere. So the reality of the matter is that Vinnie left. He got a sort of great deal with Chrysalis for 8 albums. I believe it was $4 million for 8 albums. So basically he was getting $500,000 per album. And, unfortunately for him, he was not able to keep Robert Fleischman. I think he could have kept him. I think if he would have courted him, he would have cut him in for more money. He would have, maybe not had those ridiculous outfits for Boys Are Gonna Rock video and a few other concessions. He might have been able to keep Robert, because Robert has now said that he never said he didn't want to tour. He just didn't want to tour looking like a circus clown. But the point is that they bring in Mark Slaughter. That first record should have gone gold. But as you recall, they were not able to make a second music video for it because they couldn't do videos with Mark Slaughter lip syncing to Robert Fleischman's vocals. There was a whole lawsuit over it. They settled. But getting back to the bigger question, should Vinnie have left? Well, the problem with Vinnie, in my opinion, and I really want to encourage you guys to leave comments, and I don't know if I already said this or not, but I just got off work, so I didn't dress up for the video, is that they didn't like Vinnie. I don't think they liked Vinnie when they were working with him for Creatures. I don't think they liked Vinnie when they were writing for Lick It Up. I don't think they liked him on the Creatures tour. I don't think they liked him on the Lick It Up tour. I don't think they liked him, but they needed him. He was an amazing songwriter. He was a great lyricist. He was a great musician. And even though they didn't like him and they wanted to minimize his leads, they were fun leads to watch. And, you know, he'd drop to his knees, kind of like Ace, but in different ways. He would like dig deep into the fretboard. He was technically far superior to Ace, but on a showmanship level, a little goofy, I think. I think because you have to understand, when he very first got into the band, they had him with a Les Paul. They really wanted him to pretend to be Ace. I know that seems pretty novel. I mean, no, it's not. Look at Tommy Thayer. They have an imposter up there who is literally in Ace Frehley's makeup and costume. They didn't go to the extent of doing that with Vinnie, not because they were above that or they were too noble, but because Ace at the time owned his makeup and probably would not have allowed that. Same thing with Peter. That's why they had to give Eric Carr a different character. But now that they own all the makeup, they still give those guys a little percentage, but they basically own the makeup. They can do whatever they want. I think that Vinnie's existence in Kiss would have been horrendous. I think that he would have been miserable. I think they would have exploited him to the point of getting probably 8 out of 10 songs, 10 out of 12 songs, 12 out of 14 or 15 songs, each and every record into the future, meanwhile paying him trash money. I mean, it's crazy that they were... look, Eric Carr was in the band 2 years more than Vinnie, but it's wild, it's crazy to me that Eric Carr, who wrote no music except for Car Jam and maybe like a bridge here or there, was making more money than Vinnie Vincent. But they liked Eric, and Eric's heart and soul was Kiss. But we take all that heart and soul, all that smiles and good to the fans and all that, and we put it to the side. If we're talking strictly business, Vinnie Vincent should have been making more money than Eric Carr. He should have made more money than Bruce Kulick, who came in later, more money than Eric Carr that came in later, you know, because nobody did for Kiss what Vinnie Vincent did in terms of writing songs, in terms of the stage presence. But even the stage presence, forget that, writing songs. To this day, how many songs do they play from Creatures that he co-wrote? How many songs from Lick It Up do they play that he co-wrote? I mean, it's one of those things. I think that he made the right move by leaving Kiss, but a lot of people say that he didn't, and they say that he didn't because the Invasion, you know, basically took a nosedive and failed. But that's not because he wasn't a good songwriter. I think that's more because he picked shitty people. I think Dana Strum led a revolt against him. I think if Dana Strum had not been plotting, that band probably still would have been, you know, I don't know, who knows, but that band to me was probably like another Dokken, you know, just a ticking time bomb, you know what I mean? But they didn't have the sales Dokken had. And I think that Dana, you know, initially was Vinnie's guy and then turned around and became Mark's guy. I think there's a reason why Ozzy never hired Dana Strum to be in his band, and I'm not going to go any further with that, but I would not want Dana in my band. Let's just put it that way.